All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. Today, I want to introduce us to the AQZ. AQZ is a concept that uses specially modified Fibonacci to try to give us a direction of what the market could do. These are basically Fibonacci's, right? And I'll quickly define what we have here. You'll notice we have some deep colored blue there, right? This area here is our aqua AQZ block. The thick blue area is our AQZ block. In our AQZ block, we have a light aqua area in between. We call that our preferred entry. That's the preferred entry. And we have similar aqua zones equidistant from one another. Those are take profit points. So this will basically be take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, and like that, right? The reason why I love this method and I want you to give it a try is that most traders find it difficult to be profitable in the market, not because they can't define what a trend is, but because they have so many moving parts on their charts. And when they have so many moving parts on the charts, it becomes difficult to reconcile all the moving parts. What AQZ does is that it basically immobilizes every other thing on your chart, and the only moving thing are the candlesticks. Of course, then your bias. So what it does is it basically helps you to decide whether you'll be buying or selling off of a zone on the chart, not moving averages, not oscillators, and all the likes, just a zone on your chart. And because that zone is not moving, you could basically decide to be long or short and change your mind easily in line with the chart. So I'll be showing you AQZ. We'll do another video later on to break down the candlestick patterns you use for AQZ. But today I'll be introducing us to the prophetic candle. This, by the way, is a creation of a friend of mine, a business partner, and that's his profile, Golden Boy. You might want to follow him. If you need to get the settings for the AQZ Fibs or the prophetic candle, you could chat me up or chat him up, and I'll send you the link to the Telegram group where all of that would be done. We'll need to have your username, but we want you to pass through Telegram to get that. So you need to join our Telegram group, the AQZ FX. Right, so when I call up the prophetic candle, what the prophetic candle does is that it points at one candle, usually once in a week or once in 2 weeks, depending on price action. When it points at the candle, it comes with either green or red. In this case, this was a green candle, meaning we should be looking for buys. So what we do is that we fib with the AQZ fib from the lower wick to the upper wick. That becomes our roadmap, right, for the buy. Notice what happened here. So price broke out. We want the breakout to happen and came back straight to our preferred entry, and we would have been looking for a buy. Now, the twist here is if price closes beneath the preferred entry, we will change our bias to sell. So in this case, price closed beneath the preferred entry. We would have been looking for reasons to sell. And even if you sold simply because it closed back beneath the preferred entry, if you sold when price was testing the aqua zone, the preferred entry zone, you would have had your stop loss somewhere, some few pips above this level. Price didn't hit your stop loss. Price rather closed above your preferred entry. And what you would do with when price closes above your preferred entry is you simply scratch the trade. Take a short hit of about, let's say you got in here, 3, 4, 5 pips, right? You would take a scratch on that trade for some few pips, less than 5 pips, and what would that do? Now price has closed above the preferred entry. We'll basically be buying, and here we are. Price bought, hit our TP1, hit our TP2 on this, right, for about 60 pips or thereabout. So what is 60 pips compared to the small scratch you had when price broke beneath the preferred entry? Powerful, isn't it? Now let's look at another Australian pair. Let's pick AUD USD and see how we would have played AUD USD using the prophetic candle in conjunction with the AQZ Fibs. So here again we have a bullish telling us we should be looking for buys. Again, I draw my AQZ Fib from beneath to the top. Price broke. When price came into this area, we'll be planning to buy. So now I need to state that the aqua block here, AQZ block here, is divided into two. We have the upper part, which from the preferred entry to the upper part is basically buy zone. So everything we have here is buy zone. When price violates this and closes beneath, we would be looking for sell upon a retest of our preferred entry. So when price traded into this region, we will be looking for buys. Now, there are several ways you could frame up your buys. You could go down to lower time frame to look for an LSB or whatever you want to do in the lower time frame, right? Well, we have people who would love to have 3 pending orders once this breakout has occurred. They have the first one at the tip of the aqua block, the second one at the mid threshold of the aqua block, the third one at the preferred entry itself. Whichever you choose to do, just know that we'll be looking for buys here until price violates this area. And another lovely thing about the AQZ and is that you could adapt this to whatever trading style you use. If you trade ICT and you trade fair value gaps, you'd notice there's a fair value gap here, and price was just about coming to fill that in, covered, closed the gap, and then rallied. Whichever way, right? In subsequent videos, we shall discuss how you could narrow this down to 15 minutes. I think I did in some previous videos. You could watch out for them, but in subsequent ones we'll see how we could introduce you to this. Now let's go look at some other pairs. Let's pick we're done with AUD. Let's see card CHF. Let's see card CHF. The power of AQZ Fib and the prophetic candle, it simply takes off the battle from you. So here we have the prophetic candle here still giving us a buy. So we would Fib from beneath, right, to the top, week to week. So notice again, price broke out, came back. We would have been looking for reasons to buy. If you're looking for reasons to buy on a lower time frame, you might not have gotten a reason to buy because price was pretty hard. But let's say you have your entries fixed up and you're risking 1%, this would have come straight for your SL, and you might have been out of that trade if you decide to place your SL somewhere here. We basically have a Fib setting that includes where our stop loss will be, right? So technically, yes, this would have come to your very first stop loss, but let's leave that. Okay, so then hit your stop loss, only for it to go back and close above. Once it closes above, you are ready to take the trade for a long, and there you have your entry. TP1 hit, TP2 hit, TP3 hit, TP4, just a minute. I think, okay, I took out the magnet. Get out of the way. Yep. So here we are. we have TP1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would have been sufficient, more than sufficient enough to cover for the 1% loss you would have had. Simplicity in action, guys. Simplicity in action. All right, so we're done with card. Let's see, okay, card JPY. Let's see card JPY. If we're able to find something interesting with card JPY. I'm interested in Euro USD. I hope we have enough time to get to Euro USD in this broadcast. So here we are. The last prophetic candle that came, breakout, came back for a retest, never really got to preferred entry, but was in our buy zone, TP1, TP2 hit. Came back for entry, pushed, never really got to TP1, broke down, we'll be looking for sells, and then we might have had our SL or price breaking above, not really getting to our SL. So we would have had two scratch trades. So let's say we're going long and we never really broke even, price would have gone against us. Then now we'll be looking for sells, two trades scratched, price broke above, we're now buyers into our buy zone, 1, 2. This would also have made up for whatever loss we would have had. Now notice that this is on a 4-hour candle, 4-hour chart, right? So you basically need to come back to your chart once every 4 hours per pair. Interesting. So the market maker is in trouble. The market maker can't really do anything with you. He can't. You're basically waiting for the market maker, and when he's willing to make his move, you are there to make the move with him. Here is Euro JPY, and the prophetic candle appeared here. We would have fibbed from the top to the bottom, right? Top to the bottom, here is a breakout, here is a retest to preferred entry, TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, right? Up to TP5, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to Euro USD. Oh, I love Euro USD because it's going to explain how you could actually, stay put with the market maker and get back your money. So this was the last prophetic candle that appeared last week. Price broke out. We were waiting for longs. It came, assuming you engaged in a long, danced, then went down, right? Say it hit our stop loss, 1% lost. Then on its way back, we would have taken another trade. Let's say it hit our stop loss, 2% lost, in case you're risking 1% per trade. Then it came back and broke beneath and we're sellers, and we would have recovered all the 2% we lost, right? Very interesting. I take this out temporarily. We have the new prophetic candle here, right? Price broke above. We were looking for buy, came back. If you stacked your entries in threes, well, it gave you TP1, TP2, almost TP3, traced back, didn't close beneath. We would have gotten a 15 minutes LSB, TP1, TP2, TP3, and our way to TP4. Now, we don't care about every other thing like stop hunt, something is going to happen, the market maker is doing that, all that to the rubbish bin. I'm not inferring that you can't use them, but why complicate matters? What stop hunt or what areas are the market maker going to stop hunt? What fair value gap will the market maker go to fill? All of those are moving parts. They are moving parts in your charts, and when you have moving parts in your charts, what it does is that it fosters indecision and fear. You're not too sure of when to get out and all of that. We could basically take a scratch 3 times back to back while waiting for price to make a decision around preferred entry and still recover our trade when price decides to move. We seldom have situations where price goes straight up to the SL. You could have situations where price closes beneath your or above your preferred entry and you scratch the trade with just a little loss. But even if it hits your stop loss, you just be risking 1 or 2% depending on what you usually would risk per trade, but you are almost certain that you would recover that in multiples. In multiples, guys. I'll give one more and then we'll call it a wrap. So let's see Euro NZD. Or maybe I should go to the GBP pairs. So here, let's take this out temporarily. Remove all drawings. Okay, so we have this prophetic candle for the 19th. So we would have fibbed from this top to this, right? Price broke, never really gave us a reason to go in. We didn't have any retest to have initiated a sell. We can't win it all. I think the same thing happened with GBP USD last week and this week. And by the time we discuss the candlestick patterns that you could use to decide whether you want to go long or short, you see that you could also draw your aqua fibs from this point to this. And when price came here and broke beneath, we were sellers. It broke above, we were buyers straight to TP1, right? So this was the aqua fib for last week, I think 2 weeks ago. Again, you fib from beneath, from the top, beneath, price broke below, price came to preferred entry, TP1, TP2, price came back to preferred entry, TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4. This is insane. This is insane. This is liberating, right? It's liberating. I need you guys to chat me up on TradingView here. I'll send a link to our Telegram group, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have several entry confirmations. We have several things that you could wrap around this. If you trade BTMM well, this can make BTMM easy for you. If you trade ICT well, this can make ICT easy for you. If you trade Elliott Wave, well, you just got a tool that will make Elliott Wave easy for you. The idea here is to take off the moving parts. When we trade, we want to have only two moving parts. One on our chart, the second one in our head. The only thing that should be moving on the chart are the candlesticks. The other is your bias. And we've been able to narrow down to a region where you could actually spot if you could be buying or selling. And it's that simple. We did this with Bitcoin. You might want to see this. Very wonderful, predicting the fall of Bitcoin even before it happened. Let's go down to Bitcoin, BTC, USD, right? Again, you could watch my previous post on TradingView here. I predicted Bitcoin and I used Bitcoin dominance. I looked at Bitcoin futures, used that to predict where Bitcoin was going to go. Then I think I was fibbing out this high. But here we have the previous prophetic, the recent prophetic candle. All we needed to have done is fib from the top, beneath. And I tell you, price broke beneath. Let me enlarge this a little. Price broke beneath, came back for a retest straight up to the aqua block TP1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's still dropping, ladies and gentlemen. Or what about the last one we had? We had a buy here. We basically would have fibbed from beneath to the top, right there. Sniper entry, guys, sniper entry. So price broke above, came back for a retest. We have TP1 and went that way. This is Bitcoin. On a 0.01 on Bitcoin, you know what that can do. So guys, I'll end it here. Chat me or chat the Golden Boy and ensure you get the link to Telegram, and from there we'll hook you up for free for about 30 days to use the candle, the fibs, and of course we'll teach you how to do this seamlessly. You can beat the market maker for real. Bye-bye.